talk to you a little bit about positive and negative hallucination tonight. Things that some people learn about in hypno school. And one of the things I find with my students is it's one of the things that is really misunderstood. A positive hallucination is seeing something or being aware of something that is not there. That's a positive hallucination. A negative hallucination is not seeing or being aware of something that is there. That sounds odd. They're kind of opposite almost. But those are the textbook definitions of positive and negative hallucination. And it happens often in real life, in reality, and in hypnosis. If you've ever seen a hypno stage show, every time you see someone forget the name, that is a negative hallucination. Because the name is something they know. They have that. If they forget it, they have negatively hallucinated it. They've placed it outside of their awareness, outside of their mind, right? In the Ellman induction, losing the numbers is part of the pattern, losing the numbers. When your client loses the numbers, they have then negatively hallucinated them because they know all the numbers. They can count them forwards and backwards and whichever way you want to do it. But when they lose the numbers in hypnosis, that is a negative hallucination. Were you aware that as a hypnotist, even if you're not doing stage shows, you are creating negative hallucinations for many of your clients? Feeling cold. Oh, if a stage hypnotist says, oh, you're in Alaska and it's very cold, and all the people on the stage start doing this, shivering and that kind of thing, that is a positive hallucination. They are positively becoming aware of something that just doesn't exist in the room in reality. That's creating a positive hallucination. So everybody do this with me for just a moment, if you don't mind. Hold your finger up like this. And I don't care if your eyes are open or they're closed, it doesn't matter, but just imagine to the best of your ability a bird sitting on your finger. Just imagine that bird that's sitting right there, perched right there on your finger. I don't know if it's a little bird or a big bird or a colorful bird, I don't know, but you know. So imagine that bird there on your finger. Now go ahead and imagine that that bird poops right there on your hand. Did anybody imagine that? Okay. Carla, you're laughing about that. Turn on your microphone for a second and tell me what you
I
imagined.
just laugh about the whole idea of bird pooping on my hand.
What kind of bird did you imagine?
Well, where I live, we usually have a whole gang of crows, these big black birds, so that's what was sitting on my hand. And they have a good sized poop.
Now, she positively hallucinated using memory, using imagination. She positively hallucinated all sorts of things that were not in the reality, right? And it's not, certainly, the same bird that Chris imagined or that Karen imagined. Everybody uses their imagination to positively hallucinate whatever comes up. So that feeling of being cold, the feeling of being hot, or imagining something like that, it's just creating positive hallucination. Remembering dates, as in regression. I don't know if anyone's ever been regressed using a hallway with doors on each side. It's one very popular way of regressing somebody back to an important time. Imagining a hallway and there are doors on either side, and go to the door that has something important for you, or that seems to open for you, or that's calling you to it. And when the client goes to the door and opens it up, look inside and tell me what's there. Positive hallucination. Because while it may be calling on memory, they are positively hallucinating a scenario that they're going to tell you about because it's not really there in reality, right? Positive hallucination is such a cool thing, whether it's in hypnosis or in the real world. Show of hands, has anybody ever broken up with somebody and said, what did I ever see in that person to begin with? Has anybody ever done that? Oh my gosh, what did I ever see in them? Positive hallucination. You created that on your own. In the wild, you created attributes on the person that just weren't there. They didn't display them. You created them. And then when you discovered at some point, they're really not all that, you got yourself out of it, right? Negative hallucination in relationships works the same way. Have they ever had some positive attributes that you just missed? Thinking back on somebody from years ago, why did I ever let that one get away? Oh, why didn't I capitalize on that opportunity, that job opportunity, something like that? Negatively hallucinating something that is right there in front of you. So these things don't happen just in the hypnotist chair. These things happen in real life all the time. I don't know about you, but I've had lots of people with fears and phobias come through my office. And a fear, by the way, is a wonderful emotion to have. You don't want to have it really exacerbated. But if you happen to be standing on the top of a skyscraper and you're looking over the edge and you're afraid that if you jump, you're going to die, boy, that is a fear that's working really well for you. Hold on to that one, keep it. That's what fear is for, to warn you that something bad might happen. But if you have the fear of even going up to the top observation deck at all, you can't get on the elevator, and there's no empirical evidence that anything wrong has ever gone in that elevator, you just are afraid of enclosed boxes, that is also a positive hallucination of something that has never happened. And we help somebody overcome that unfortunate positive hallucination through some forms of negative hallucination, forgetting it, like forgetting the numbers, replacing it with something else. So we're using these things back and forth at all times. When the client comes into your office, I believe that my clients are in a trance all the time. I'm not asking you to believe the same things I do. I'm just saying that I can only share with you my BS, my belief system. And I believe that everybody is in a trance at all times. And every client who comes to me is already in the trance of what they want to change or what is going on with them. So it's not complicated. It's not a hard thing. It works through suggestion. Notice when we did the bird, I didn't tell anybody to close their eyes. I said, keep them open or closed either way you want to do it. I didn't count you down. I didn't deepen anything. I just asked you to imagine, which, of course, to me is a magical word. The word imagine just lets you do whatever you will with it. I asked you to imagine, and Carla had crows pooping on her hand. Isn't that cool? Already in that trance that she created for herself because I didn't make it such a big deal. I like to tell my clients that we do this all the time. We do it every day. We do it every minute of every day. We're accepting or rejecting suggestions. I believe, and I tell my clients, that hypnosis occurs or the trance occurs when a suggestion is accepted and then turned into a belief. We do that all the time. We accept suggestions and we reject suggestions. And our clients do it all the time too. I don't care how pretty your words are. If the client doesn't resonate with it, they're going to reject it. That doesn't mean they reject the hypnosis or they reject the session. They're just going to reject that particular suggestion. It's not rocket science. It's not brain surgery. We're trading ideas and trading words. And if it makes you feel better, stop giving suggestions. Stop giving suggestions. Throw out ideas. Throw out ideas. Use common sense. Use your education. Use what you know and throw out ideas. And don't be married to whether it's accepted or not. Let your client do that. But if you make a suggestion and your client doesn't take it, a lot of hypnotists go, oh my God, I must not be any good at this. But if you toss out an idea and they're not into it, now you're in a brainstorming session. And that's what we're doing with our clients anyway. We're brainstorming a better solution than the one they walked in with. They already created one solution, and now they want a different one. And rather than give it to them on a silver platter, empower them to create the suggestions that will work best for them.